Okay, so we are in NACE round
last time we played
6, I
this?
believe, here, and we
It's
are
been a
up
while.
against Ravens Overwatch. I don't know where that is. We think it's in Canada. Obviously, it'll be somewhere in the Northeast because we are in Northeast 1 as our region for NACE. So we're gonna see how that goes.
What school is this?
Carlton.
Okay, apparently that's the school it is, but they go by Ravens
Do we want to play
Overwatch.
balls on here, or do we play?
That sounds fine.
So let's see what we get.
It's well,
And
though.
let's see how we don't always have QG Hop in. Let's see how QG Hop's doing here.
Do we want to start high ground or just go main?
I'll get top left lane.
Okay.
Talking about lanes, I like
it.
it.
Right.
Alright.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
No TP.
Northeastern's currently
Okay.
5-0 in here.
They have Echo.
This is round 6.
They
I
have
believe this
Echo.
team is like 2-4, something along
There's-
those lines.
I
So
might have
we'll
heard of
see how
that.
things go.
Your core is walking a little bit left.
Kill their arm.
They're dueling key or needs.
They're an
TP
enemy.
needs.
QG's deepening his
Coming
ankle.
Zach there.
He's gonna
We're
get forced
walking.
out.
We're walking left.
Monkey wrapping around, careful.
It's fine.
Down.
Seven.
Leave it Discord.
Nice.
Okay.
On the monkey.
Monkey on me.
Oh, I'm trying to piece
There's a monkey in, but there's a
Go
monkey.
low.
Point.
Oh, no,
Forces
there's
them
a
out.
Monkey's stunned. Monkey's stunned.
Next
Go
one,
back.
big
Leave it
sun.
Discord.
Yeah, I'd probably look for them to finish
watch
some
boobs,
of these.
watch boobs.
Once they have the lead,
This
I'd like
is
them
Alright,
to
phone door's
stabilize and then push
Okay,
their advantage
so-
a little
Green
harder than
D,
they
I'll
do.
get it.
Take their high. Take their high. Take their high.
¿Qué onda?
No.
A little bit of a speed change
Change
thing that I'd
me.
like to clean up.
Okay,
Be
okay.
right back.
AVMP here.
No.
I'll set up.
We can't take their high anymore.
Block it, kill
I
the
need
monkey,
to.
monkey, monkey.
Okay. With how far forward we're playing, that's a
thought
pretty
we were gonna
deep
take their high.
translocator.
I was drinking water.
Unlucky.
I can wait for them to get in and I can
Auto
EMP.
one,
Brig.
They have
bottom right.
balls.
Big
Yeah,
one, big
I don't
one.
know, Dave. What? Yo, Tracer, go where I'm shooting.
Watch
Sector
balls.
Should have.
Back out a bit.
Free
Okay, it did. Good.
Leave it
They're
dead.
gonna pulse me. They're gonna pulse me.
Echo half up top.
Play point.
Monkey low, Echo low.
Maybe.
Okay.
Can I have orb?
They're on break. They're off loose.
Tracer's
I need healing.
Monkey one. Brick half.
Pressure's
On
killing
Echo.
everyone.
Having fun.
Who's controlling right? There we go.
Doing a lot, guys. You know,
Alright, take their high. For real now. For real.
Okay, we're actually taking their high
Swag
ground. Good.
You're high, and now I'm on the low.
I'd like to get someone
Alright.
behind them in this case, and it's
You
QG
can
Hop.
move Spectre. Nice.
Good.
They have
QG
balls.
recognizes that.
Dupe probably close to Monkey and Nano.
How early do we want to EMP?
We're playing here. Let's move over.
Alright.
On Echo.
Yeah, just wait behind them. You're fine.
EMP, and straight back.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, that was
I want to rally. I
not
dropped it.
optimal.
Big sun.
I'm with you.
Mine's this, mine's this.
Blend them.
I can rally. I'm
Fish on
rallying.
Yeah, rally.
Good is done. Shit to re.
Monkey.
Oh, help first, help first.
I'm stuck here.
No one.
Yeah, their diva's up again.
Yeah, dead.
Monkey one,
Echo
monkey
next
one.
second.
See you later.
Monkey stunned. Monkey won.
Echo top left.
Monkey's really
Echo
won.
far left, going to point.
Yeah, I'm watching. Echo one.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Yeah, burn.
Okay. Sure.
Monkey hacked.
Beacon.
It's a little
Kill this rally.
dicey.
Yep.
For him, not for the team.
Trace on point, no re.
I don't
Oh, I
know.
don't have shield.
Watch bomb.
Good fuck, good
Watch
fuck.
bomb.
Wait, losable.
I'm
Grenade.
man.
Point, evac point.
It is not losable. Push up.
On fire.
Take
Like a
angles.
coast,
Good.
maybe.
First round. 1.
Okay, let's see if we can make it a little cleaner. I know it's the 100-0, but let's see if we can make it a little bit
Christine, I know how to play
cleaner.
karaoke.
To 0.
No, I really don't care, Like, that? No.
They're trying. Team went karaoke
So you,
last weekend. It was,
Typed
I
out
assume
and
it was fun.
might-
I didn't go.
might have been
I'm
the message.
in a different time zone than they
I
are,
like
but that's okay.
auto-corrected, but then it did, I don't know. Just keep us out, and then,
No time for standing around.
Can I play Doom?
no.
I don't know about that.
No, we do
No
come.
comms out. Okay, fine. They're gonna
Although
that's
roll
'cause
and
we're
have
not
not
as
fun.
much because I'm not feeling good.
5, 4,
Yeah. Not yet.
Just be me.
No, we with this one. Let's just world's not watching.
No TP.
Let's go bottom
sports
left,
are-
Briggs, come bottom left.
Okay, yeah. We're in cages.
Nothing.
Who has right lane?
Yeah,
Take right
yeah,
off
needs-
screen.
needs just
I'm
around.
right.
Hey,
Okay.
monkey.
Some in the
Kill
inner.
her on out.
Yeah, no.
I'll DM you.
Tracer one.
Oh, I whiffed.
Lucky this.
Tracer dead.
Dead.
Where's the act main? Where's the act main?
Sure.
Oh,
no
Mercy one on pillar.
Tracer, can you back?
Yeah, Mercy really low.
Mercy dead.
Good.
The objective is now.
I'm walking.
Walk up. Yeah, there you go.
You have Packers.
7.7.
I cannot walk point.
Back now.
Yeah. That's a positioning
Good.
mistake on our point to allow them to effectively get through when we aren't quickly finishing their backline.
Okay,
taking
Their
Okay,
front
good.
line went pointed, that's
Alright,
fine if we
coming.
quickly finish their backline, but we didn't position
They're on
too
break
quickly
now to
finish
the
their
Mercy.
backline.
Their sports are high ground.
Neko.
Okay, setting behind, fine.
Give him the nade.
This is
I'm
good,
looking for
this is
Simon
reasonable
too.
pressure.
One.
I don't even need the hack, yeah. I'm just good continuing to put
Yeah.
pressure on them,
It was bad Simon.
zoning them, or
You.
draining their
Monkey
resources
Monkey
as
Monkey
they're
Monkey
rotating in
Monkey
here.
done. Monkey
Sleep.
off.
Just gonna recall.
Sending innings
I
two
can
inside
transfer.
cage.
I had to transfer.
Almost.
Inner one.
Going
I
for
don't
hack
have
is
no
probably
guns.
because we actually are ready to win the fight, and we weren't when I was talking about earlier. Now hacks are fine, but
I
this,
didn't
pick
realize
this.
you dropped.
Oh, they're all on me. I
Need
didn't know they
for
were all on me.
stabilized on them.
They're all together.
You're
Wait,
not
no.
free.
Don't.
Yeah, no.
We come back.
You're touches.
Much better.
Alright. They use dupe. They have
First point with
nano
you,
monkey ult diva bomb.
Ready? Wait, big slam on break. Big slam on break. There's one.
okay,
They're gonna nano.
Lucky this.
fine,
Echo.
Lucky 1 point.
Kill tanks.
good. He didn't panic and TP out early.
Taking the objective.
Good.
A little help would be
I'm
appreciated.
taking high. They have nano monkey ult diva bomb. Maybe pulse. Probably rally. Everything except for dupe, I think.
Guys, use mines whenever they go to point. If they go to point, then Tracer and Ball can match it.
Oh.
Make sure we have our lanes to us, right, and her as well.
Tracer coming
Or
hard.
DPS. Yeah, okay, we're good.
On Echo.
Echo above you.
Okay, that's just pressure on an off angle.
I'm ready. They're
It's not
gonna
deep,
monkey
but
in,
it's
okay?
going to turn
I'll
deep
probably
if they go
rally.
that way.
Monkey hack main.
Yeah,
Nano rally.
fine.
And it
Oh,
Discord.
Big
what
slam,
the
big
heck?
slam. Come on.
Yeah, get back in a second.
Lucky
Got her.
Discord.
Okay, we'll take it.
I'm rallying.
I don't have
our-
to nade.
Can we walk point?
Point, sec point.
Lucky one.
Watch both, watch
point
both.
On break. One.
Drake is really one.
Good reaction.
Big res there. I can probably whip her.
Lucky this.
Main support? Sure.
Oh, we flipped.
That's fine. On monkey. Monkey, yeah.
Echo one.
Wait, Echo this. Echo one.
We're going flex for a moment because our main's not here.
Lucky one.
Primal rally balls.
They have nano.
I don't want to die.
We're almost 5. We're still on our Sombra. Alright, I think we're ready if we see start that target.
I'm the monk.
Lucky me. Lucky me.
EMP in
Yeah,
forest.
I see.
I'm down in front of him.
Lucky this.
I'm out.
Self-destruct
monkey, monkey,
initiation? No, thank you.
Pretty dead.
I'm hacked.
I'm on it in the back.
On N2.
I missed a pulse again. On the front.
Pretty good.
That should be better.
Okay.
Dude's gonna touch.
Shooting
Probably
Sombra,
not.
shooting Sombra.
So the difference between our comps is obviously that they're... Oh, I can talk to them
Kinda
now.
sloppy.
Kinda sloppy is a good summary. So what's the difference between our comps when they're running the Monkey Inna and we're running the Zen Ball?
Play of the game.
They have better brawl.
Okay, they brawl a bit better, so what do we do better then, or how do we expect to beat them? Right, we win the lanes and we win them pretty handily because, you know, again, their Anna's not going to support the off lanes as well as our Zen. Our Zen is going to put more pressure on whichever lane he works on. Like, that's what we do. We look to win some of those, which means we take our lanes and we adjust. And that's something that could still look better for us on King of the Hill. We adjust our lanes. We had a little bit of Sombra looping behind them, which is good. I want that, but I want us to continue to be more flexible. Like, King of the Hill, the maps themselves are still, of course, very lane-heavy maps, but they're a little less structured, so we need to be more dynamic in how we adjust to keep the surround on them and to keep the surround on wherever they'd rotate through. Right, guys?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I know it doesn't, it's a little hard to take super seriously when we know we can just walk over them, but like we should try. We should try to walk over them with very good, clean execution so that the habits are just there, so that when we're trying to play at a faster pace against better teams, against, teams like we scrimmed, just a couple days ago, okay, we're good, we're perfectly happy, we can keep at this pace. So, the pedal to the metal, go hard on this. I can confirm that it's hybrid, but I think it is hybrid, yes.
Interesting pick.
Bacon.
Okay.
That's not King's Row.
It's not.
What's wrong with these guys?
It's not. Let's make sure we really think about second point there. I know it's not in our map pool for Homecoming, but it could be in a future map pool. It's obviously in this tournament's map pool, and we do plan on doing playoffs, etc., against other region champs in this tournament. So let's take it, let's take it seriously. Let's make sure we're thinking about those lanes, especially on second point. If they do some sort of, okay, have fun.
Wow. Wow. Just silence.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 2 shields.
Right, Mercedes?
Yep,
True.
this
Triple
is
shield.
actually enough shields for me.
Right?
Not lying.
Not King's Row. It's wild.
Just playing this.
It's not even anything in the Homecoming map pool, and this isn't Homecoming. This is NACE, its own league, and for this league, anything
Right,
in the
we
competitive
can
map
ball.
pool is playable. But collegiate teams are mostly
Yeah, if you
scrimming
got
the
double
Homecoming
shields,
map pool because that's
Yeah.
what they get in a sort of the more important tournament, you could say, but also in if like you can play only some maps there and all the maps elsewhere, you're going to practice those maps that'll come up in both tournaments. So usually you'd expect that. That said, maybe they practice this specifically to catch teams off guards. Amoro says, "Hi Temporal, can I ask you a question? How can I improve my awareness? I often do stupid things and then just tilting. Any advice?" Yeah, so your awareness in terms of if you feel like you're doing stupid things, it's probably you're trying to think about too much at once and you can't handle it. And no one can think about 100,000 things at once. You have to just build habits and build your autopilot. So
Let's
you
see
work
the
on
lineups
one
needs.
specific thing at a time to get better.
I
The other thing for building your awareness is just work on one person at a time when it comes to tracking. Like if you're Zen, maybe you also track your monkey and the opposing flanker. And you build that one at a time. Maybe you start by tracking your monkey or your ball. Then you go, okay, now I'm tracking my ball and I'm tracking one flanker. You build the number of people that you can track until you're tracking 12.
Tristan,
You're in a little.
But one at a time is really the answer.
watch a nade, watch a nade.
Use it.
Okay, so we get to see Northeastern plan something a little different here, in that they are running a double shield comp, which was not the Zen Ball comp of last map.
Wait, sorry,
And
no bubble,
being
no
run
bubble.
into them is again a monkey comp, banana monkey comp.
We're about to get nano.
You guys are
Oh,
tanks, you guys are
I'll need a push.
First peek, first peek, first peek.
Tracer one, right side of point.
Nice QD.
7.
I'll contest, I'll contest.
That's so far right.
There's already one.
He's gonna get a shield or two.
Ooh, winnable. They're down. They're only tanks in on
just
it.
big takes. I'll be able to pop.
You want some?
Go down
Higher.
point.
Monkey one.
Okay.
Back in the
I'm with you, Spectre.
Sorry, one.
Wait, there's a fair right above you. There's a monkey here.
They have barrage.
Yeah, one fair.
Sure.
Peek
Force
spawn
out
for heals.
bubble with nades and then tired.
Crits on me.
And ultimately
This
are
one,
going to
this one.
stabilize. Keep Simon alive. Good.
Alright. They
Wait,
have
Spectre-
barrage,
wait.
monkey ult, maybe halfway to another nano. They have pulse.
Oh my god, I actually
Wait,
missed
I'm
one.
moving back.
Supposed to grab.
No, you can't. I keep moving
Supposed to
forward
grab.
and back and you keep shooting.
I'm sitting on our high ground, okay? Because
Oh yeah, they're gonna eat. Yeah, you can play a little split. I'll eat it.
Are you low? There ain't no bubbles. There ain't no bubbles.
they have the
I'm not- I'm
barrage.
going back, man.
Okay.
Flying right,
Barrage
flying right.
ability. Needs sounds very ambitious.
Kill it.
Fair one, fair one.
I mean,
I'm walking up.
Supercharger just kind of
Someone's in
wins.
there with some. Zarya personal. Push up, push up. Just watch pulse. Tracer coast.
So the thing about Hirsch is
And
Hirsch is
allies.
both his name and the character
Yeah,
he's
back
playing.
This one.
Watch pulse.
And
They
you're
have
gonna
pulse, they
find
have
most
barrage,
of our
monkey ult,
players have
grab,
short enough
everything's
names
broke.
that
Right,
it's sort of.
right. Honestly, take this seriously. I wanna hold this.
It just depends. On most teams I've played, on most teams I've
I'm going high ground.
Some teams will
Don't
go
take
strictly
damage.
by character name
Someone's
or
on
by
your right. Casey's
battle
on your right
tags,
side.
but a lot of teams will use a mix. Like,
Productive.
Neats, for example, generally gets called
Wait,
Neats,
Zionable.
but Sklee usually gets called Simon. And obviously,
Six off.
one of those is a name, one of those is a battle tag.
Let's push it.
It's just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
what
push
sticks.
it, Zarya. Push it, Zarya.
Where's Farrah? Where's Farrah?
And you don't really get to
There you
pick.
go.
It's sort of like nicknames. You don't pick your own
Keep
nickname.
walking. Tracer 1.
That said, it's got to generally be a pretty tight-knit team or a school or collegiate team for real names to kick in over IGN.
Okay. They have everything except for pulse.
Oh, you mean that versus Diva Peak.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
it. Usually use player names. In organized play, you use
Why
the
am I
player
saying-
names or battle tags. You don't so
We
much
did,
call.
you see.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't so much call for
I
that.
was like, maybe
Their
even
other
if it's
Ana
like
was just-
walking backwards, we're pretending to be a bot. I don't know.
Ana just walking.
Got
into
it.
the
I understand now, Mercedes. So yeah, usually in terms of that, you're generally not going to call for the hero name. You're
Okay,
generally
yeah,
going to
yeah.
call
So-
for the
so
player
when it
name
gets under
because
the
it's very
bridge,
fixed and it's
we
more
pop
attention
windows
grabbing.
there,
You
and
call
then
a
where they're
person's
gonna run
name.
is they go
People
forward,
alert
it's going
harder
to
on
the
either their
bridge.
name or their battle tag than they do
them
on Brig, Diva,
I have a
something
tra-
like
I
that.
have a-
Now
I
on
have a
ladder,
video
you're
here.
absolutely going to
and
go
then
Brig,
on
Diva,
top of
and
that,
you're
then
going to
you
call
can
the
start
enemies by their
pushing
hero
this guy
names.
to
Like,
the
you know, the enemies you're generally going to
Again,
call,
all
oh,
the sides
Junkrat, you're not
pulse
going to say
as
Jake,
as
for
many as I
example,
can.
in that. You're generally going to do that. You might sometimes
on
do
two.
it,
Yeah, that
especially if they're
nano's gonna
really
be a
known for
problem.
that hero or if it's just automatic.
So,
Wait,
The
can you
real
window
answer is
under
it
me?
doesn't matter a ton, but the general default is
window.
players alert
window,
harder on their
window,
name,
window,
so when
window,
you're trying
window,
to
split.
Oh, I was gonna.
ask
Going
your
back.
teammates to do
Sorry.
something, you call them by their
Monkey,
IGs or
monkey.
names,
No,
and
I'm
when
low.
you're talking about
Turn
enemies,
monkey,
you
turn
talk
monkey.
about hero names.
Turn
But that's
monkey.
organized play only.
That works.
On ladder, you
Turn
tend to
monkey.
call
No,
people
monkey.
just by whatever.
Trap? Okay,
You're going to use
You're only
character
gonna
names because you're never going to
Nano,
memorize
Primal,
what their IGNs are. It'll
there's
just be
some Hanzo
faster
now
to use
from afar.
characters.
They have
They
Hollow
still
Barrage.
drag.
They have.
What Elo?
They've
Crap.
Northeastern, who we hear the comms of, are 4.4.
They
I
have
don't
it.
know what level
He's a-
Ravens Overwatch is
They're all
at.
touching, maybe.
There's some
They messed
Canadian
up.
school team. I don't know
Oh, maybe.
what school because they've identified as Ravens Overwatch.
With you, Timid.
Oh,
And
no,
I
no,
haven't looked it
Yeah.
up. I think Timid might have said what they were at the beginning of the
no.
stream, so you can go back and check if you
I
like.
think.
But
Yeah, we
Turn
can
on
help up
Victor.
point. Tracer 1,
Tracer 1, Tracer 1.
Mercy.
Should we get that
Mercy
Mercy,
low,
Mercy.
Mercy 1,
Mercy,
and then,
Mercy.
okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Then Zarya, then
and this is, you know, kind of the brawling, and you see
Okay,
there were
guys.
double shield comp and they're brawling because that's what you do at the end phase of a fight.
As they say,
Good.
they can hold this.
I will shield you.
May boost over the wall. Mace him.
I'm in.
That's
I'm
my
in.
call.
I'm down.
Okay.
Let's see.
Bring it
Okay,
back.
they're trolling a little, but I can
We
deal
have to
with
show
it.
Kyle the TP because he probably doesn't know.
Oh
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got Charlie in,
I
so
agree.
Charlie can hit the TP.
Even if he
Good.
does know, do we think he can do it though? No BM.
I
I believe him. It's not too bad for a sim. For the sim.
True.
It's probably the
So I don't know
charger.
what level
Dude,
Ravens
we
are
gotta
at.
make a
I can tell you,
compilation of
J-Bob,
Kyle's
that if I
CPs.
look at the standings for the Northeastern League right
Big
now,
TP. Where is he?
it looks
Why
like
did we move? Oh.
overview. No, matches standings.
Wait, is this where I go monkey?
These are currently the standings that we'll pull up real quick.
I
So
only played like
Northeastern
8
is
hours of
5-0 in
Overwatch
this
today.
league, and Ravens are
How'd it
1-5. So that's
Oh,
what
no,
we're
he
looking at
DC'd.
there.
I would pause.
Pause. I was going like literally win one, lose one the entire day until the end. But like I lost 40 or 50 SR from just win one, losing one, like going even.
Damn.
And then I went, I think -1 or -2 at the end, which made me sad.
Good. They got their
Okay,
person
you
back.
can unpause, maybe.
I want to create a new shortcut for pausing because I don't want to use my shift every time I have to pause.
What's the default pause?
Control shift equal.
It's so silly.
See, left shift is my crouch, so.
Is P used for anything?
You've been here 5 minutes. The first thing you
Yeah,
saw was
shit.
Tracer walking into a
yeah,
wall and then
I
DCing
think
in
it's
it, so I
good.
thought it was like
Good
silver.
enough.
I hear
It's good
ya.
visuals.
I hear ya.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Alright,
There's definitely a skill disparity between
I would
Northeastern
say,
and
did I
Ravens
hear
here.
a no on the
The
Winston?
trick is to try to keep
What if I'm
Northeastern
far away?
somewhat serious, make it clean, not let them build bad habits.
Dude, you don't need to make me sad. You You know, you bring up a good point. So if Pharah's spamming our spawn, then I'll go to D.Va.
Bobble the TP. Problem
Yeah,
solved.
exactly. I'll jump
It
first.
might, it might slide off of the roof. I don't know how that works.
I'll be good. Alright, anyone see a Pharah?
5, 4,
Okay,
Uh,
we're spectating our Lucio.
Oh no, Pharah.
Wait
Wait a sec.
a sec. Alright, we're good. Yeah,
Ready?
they're reloading. Go.
Go, go, TP.
Oh, sorry, sorry, move out of the way.
Go, quick.
So late! That's so late!
Make it.
Oh, back one.
I made it!
Fortunately, Lucio can still get
It's okay,
around if
doesn't
everyone
matter.
else makes it.
Hit lamp.
Actually, maybe Mercy.
Hey,
I'm on
Sig,
Ursa.
Sig, what?
Ursa, no
Sig,
gold,
Sig,
no
Sig.
gold.
That was not executed well. It's a fun strat, though.
I'm on the Mercy.
No, she's mine. Stop. Oh, wait, no, she's my quick.
Puncher.
Yeah, everybody punch her. Oh, wait, dude.
Puncher.
Yo, why is she not dead? Hold on. Frog?
Punch.
Oh, it's
Punch
6k,
the Pharah.
6k. One more.
victory.
Alright, good play, guys. Well
It
executed.
works.
It did
Very
work.
cool,
It did
team.
work.
No play of the game. What the
We'll
fuck?
try and be a little bit faster if we ever do that in the future with our wall TP strat there, but that's okay.
I think we were all crying around our sim, so just
I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
I had to get to the side.
I get it.
Yeah. Sim TPs are really buggy.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that the problem?
Just imagine a Winston bubbling your Ryan when he pins in. Like, what can you do to stop that?
Why don't you Zarya bubble him instead?
But 500 or 600 health greater than 200.
Oh, yeah.
Is it though? Like fire strikes go through Winston bubbles. They don't go through Zarya bubbles.
Yeah, but Winston jumps over their team and kills their bat.
I mean, Zarya gets 100 energy and melts people.
But we're not going for the long fight. We're nuking someone.
I know.
and
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just.
Oh no, I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Paris.
I don't think
Paris.
they can take us to Paris. Paris isn't in competitive map pool. They can't do it.
We can gentlemen.
No.
It
It
Nah,
just-
I don't want to be here like that all night.
Yeah, it's escort. Okay, so Dorado, this is fine. Do I want us to run this a little differently? No, I suppose I don't need us to run this a little differently. Remember the transition on first point between sort of first point defense close and first point defense further back? We don't want to get caught in that rotation once the card has already gotten to the choke. So we really only retake the first part of first for defense if we cleanly win a fight and go take it. Treat the first portion of Dorado sort of how we treat the first portion of Gibraltar. Sound good?
Okay.
Got it.
And then on third point attack, let's make sure that we understand either we send our core through top right there or we send our core through mid there, and we're going to have to adjust where QG is, either left or further left, depending on where we sent the core. And further left would be, co-chopping up, etc. Right? QG, you remember that?
Yep.
Cool. Look forward to it. Good luck, guys.
Alright, don't let him get the third. That way we don't have to use our brains.
That's a good
I
solution
don't
that
even
Hirsch
know
has
what we
there.
play.
To Dorado.
Double shield.
No.
Wait,
Oh,
Sam,
one third.
We played everything.
Oh,
no,
so
I just
Danana
played
Split
Sigma.
says, was Northeastern this good before you
It's
started
double shield,
coaching, or
yeah,
did you
so
work them
pretty
up
On
to this
third,
level?
we've like just
So,
ran our head into
they
the
are
wall
a
just running
better
this Balcon.
team than
On attack.
when I
can
started
always just
coaching
swap
them.
to Orisa.
So like
Or
they
we
got
just
better
play for
after I
main.
started coaching them,
Because, like, we
but
just
the
kept on
scene
walking
has
top right and it
also
just wasn't
gotten
working.
better. So like before I started
we just-
coaching them, I think they got top 32. They might have even missed top 32, but they'd done well in previous seasons before that.
Who had a day
And
off
then
today?
when I started
I
coaching them
didn't.
for the midway point at last season. Then at the end of the season, they got top 16. So that was improvement. But the reality is the scene, the collegiate scene, got quite a bit more serious last season and this season. It looks like it's continuing to go that way with Overwatch compared to previous
Marathon
seasons.
Monday.
Like for example,
Let me see if I can get, I'll hit the
the top
big jump.
the top
Watch
team in
this.
Overwatch collegiate
ready.
is
Wait, I
Redbird
forgot to do it.
Esports,
Oh,
and
no.
that team simply didn't
I
exist.
think
Like
it's
the
here.
top 3 teams last season were
Okay.
Oh, I missed
Northwood,
it.
Harrisburg, and
Big
Maryville,
Bryce Cubes.
and those were the big 3. Irvine and Utah were sort of in
They
the
have an
next
Orisa,
tier, but
they
they
went
were
for
not
the-
as good as those 3 teams. Like those 3
It's
teams were
Sombra,
contenders
Simon, I don't
levels.
think they
Now
like
we have
you.
4 teams that are contenders levels,
Yeah,
and we
need to
probably
go
have
under
3 or
Sombra and
4
GG
that are in that
under.
tier behind it. So like the level of collegiate keeps leveling up,
That's tough.
and
Uh,
without serious
Bubble,
recruitment, it can be a challenge to, you know, catch up with contenders teams, for example.
spy
But
checkers.
I've been able to make them better, definitely, and they've gotten better. But the scene is also getting
Oh
better.
no, I just heard. I've heard already.
Okay. Needs peek me.
Needs
You're
Sonicos.
right.
Sonicos.
For example, they did not have a brawl, a meaningful brawl at all before I started working at them, and their Zen Ball at the beginning of this season was quite a bit worse than it is now. It does lean a bit into their hero pools, like Simon's best hero is probably his Hammond. Hirsch is a pretty good Sigma, but
Wait, where's their name?
Break on break.
Oh, they use. No, yeah,
Spectro is much happier on Zen than on Bat, for example. But
Still one.
GG.
Don't sleep.
in terms of how they think about lanes, how it works, how they get their good surrounds, that is very much leveled up and
Oh, I
very
missed
much
my
paid
whip shot.
dividends.
They're close
They
on
have
Nana.
Nano.
Whip it. Bye, Simon.
There's
Peek me.
Let's go.
That makes sense. Good.
Should I just like swing here? Don't let their Sombra back.
I'm
Yeah.
watching bottom too, but
There.
I am in the third.
Yeah, if you just like stand in the door.
Oh, I hit Diana. Genitors.
Dude, he's like, what? What's the ball?
He's got dips.
Wait, I'm gonna mine him. Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, mine him.
Even
Right, I'm going over to our main support. Is that a request?
Give off eye.
D1, D1.
I'm gonna stun monkey. I'm stunning monkey.
I think we win this.
Kill this monkey. Oh,
Okay, so he was late on his decision to whip shot Monkey out because he thought we could eliminate Monkey. And that's unfortunate because then when he could get to whip shotting Monkey, we sent him in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
That's a good
Okay,
whip
that's-
shot.
There he gets Dagger's Diva. Kill the Diva. Oh.
Oh, she's so low.
But he intentionally made the
Yeah.
decision, which was fine, to not whip shot the Monkey on the way in, but to instead stun
They're
him and then
packing her.
potentially whip shot him after the
Just
stun.
let her-
He
just-
just thought we were
nice.
going to get the elimination, so he
Wow.
withheld the whip shot.
They have Nano. They use Monkey ult there. No, they use Nano.
okay.
Nice. They have EMP. Maybe, maybe Rally. I don't know.
It feels like the last 2 years have been kind of a
That's
surge of actual
Tracer diff.
competitive interest in the game due to YouTube being the streaming platform of choice.
I think they're
Balance
going
changes,
under.
advertisements, or esports. Could be, could be.
Watch this EMP.
I mean, the
Anna
last
went wide,
year
left
Yeah, Monkey's
plus
under. I don't see anyone else.
balance has been
Not a
really
bad
good for the
name.
game. It took a while, like
first name.
Overwatch, there was interest right away, but it took a while for that to bubble
Tracer's
up in
coming
the
top left
collegiate
right now.
scene and the teams to get organized
Don't
because,
bash this,
you
it's
know,
okay.
you're dealing with schools, you're dealing with bureaucracies. Some of it is them
Tracer's
reacting to
top
the
left.
high schools,
Even
some
though-
of it is, you know, business where they've got to talk to
Oh,
each
I
other,
missed.
get to it before
got the Sombra.
boards believe in the ideas, etc.
got scammed.
That should not have happened, but okay.
And then on other sports.
The Tracer's high ground. No, I'm here.
Spectre, you want to play Anna?
I do.
Go, go, go.
Jutsunri.
Yeah.
Where is she? I see.
I could have bashed that. Oh my god. They have Monkey ult maybe.
No. Oh, I saw. Oh, they're like, huh?
I'm mining this after.
Oh, he jumping top.
I can do it.
Big mines.
Oh, I'm lagging.
Oh.
Yeah, that was weird.
That's my bad. I don't know what happened.
I thought that maybe
Great
was
line.
on my end, but
Monkey
it
low.
was on his end apparently.
Yeah, this could be up Spectre.
One break.
They have another Monkey ult, I think.
Reloading.
And stop reloading. Now.
Get the healing. All right, back.
Oh, fuck me.
Stop reloading any of the healing.
We're
Okay.
gonna follow Tracer.
You attack Spectra. Watch the bump.
Keep her analyze, just Nana.
Rebecca.
Oh.
That's, I don't know. I tried to batch away and then I just lagged, so we lose.
Uh, What do you think?
Solvable.
Alright, yeah,
Okay.
let's for the stall. Ball first.
Watch close.
Come on.
Oh, they're on me. I'm
Yeah,
dead.
you kind of staggered yourself.
Let your ball tracer stall.
Grenade. Break one. Break action one. Oh, she got healed. Pretty low.
Fucking dragging fire. They see 9.
Oh no.
Break one inside. Break one inside left.
I'm back
I'm
in
back
2.
in 5.
Big sun. Big sun. Big sun. Money.
No, we can definitely do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Crazy.
We'll get nano.
Yeah, I'm dragging.
Increase nano.
When I respawn,
I'm on. Seven, I'm on. We don't flash.
Tracer 1, Tracer 1, Tracer 1 on card.
It's coming eventually.
Alright, how do you primal this?
Three
That was a little early with the nade.
It's
Bring
locked,
free
it's
left.
locked,
Bring
it's
free
locked.
left. He pop.
Let Tracer, Cree 1. One health, 1 health.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to play second point.
Complete.
Alright.
Score.
The monkey was so nice, he took me back to the
0
fight.
to 0. Switching sides.
I was trying to C9 him with the primal.
She's waiting on
Didn't
front
work
lines.
very well.
Okay.
Been cover for quite a
Let's
while.
do our
Yeah, we should have really backed off a
rotation.
little bit harder and then pushed in
Watch this roll out.
appropriately.
Yeah, we
I
go
didn't
Lucio,
super mind
Mercy,
the
one
whip shot
people,
there.
that
Though
way
the
we don't
problem with
have
it
to
is
risk
like
it
it keeps
anywhere.
the tracer back, which is nice. It's like
I'm
no,
thinking
you
the
can't have
promo
this space
would
for
actually
free.
get some
But we
good
really
Sim
couldn't
TP
enforce
on
it, and it gives you a way for the monkey to jump in and for
Let's
you
see
to
how
then get
fast we
overwhelmed.
can
Actually, yeah.
You
Could
you
use
really
it
would have
to
liked
get
to
up, right?
leave
That
into
way
into
I'm
second
top
and then
to
push
go
back up.
places.
You're on monkey.
If you had like 4 people
I would
maybe,
be
but
going
you had
Sigma.
2. You had ball and
I
Brig
could
there.
press left
I feel
shift,
like
jump
if we're
out.
against a good team, we probably wouldn't be able to do that.
You can't. Can you DP?
I didn't hear what he said. I was
There's
talking
usually
to
like an
chat.
asterisk or like a
Okay.
sig. Just what
Our
we're
most
doing, people
collegiate
just
game
make
stomps
TP.
like this ones. I try to call them out when I don't think they're going to be stomps, but the
I
reality
could
is
do
that
that.
I would say,
Let's just walk coast.
like,
Are you actually playing
it
Ken?
depends, because
No.
when you're recruiting for a
Alright.
tier 3 team, you're just gonna
Yeah, you
play
can
with
fix it,
people
alright, yeah.
around a similar level, or a tier 2
Okay.
team players around a similar level.
Don't lose
When you're
fight,
recruiting
let's
for
go.
college, you're actually limited by who's attending your college, and when you remember that Grandmasters make up
5.
0.5% of the player base, it's not a guarantee that a team can field a full
What?
Grandmaster
Fair.
team. And the difference
Yeah,
between a
pretty
full
close.
Grandmaster team and
Right.
not a full
It's what
Grandmaster
you're
team is a
looking
lot, and then there's also
No,
the
no, they're
difference
right
of,
here.
like, we all know the
Alright, go
difference
like Junkrat then. Get up.
between
Yeah,
4.4,
they're on Ryan,
like the
they're on
difference
Ryan.
between 4.6
Let's
and
walk high,
4.4 is a
high.
lot. The difference between 4.4
Okay,
and
come out.
4.0
We're walking high, be
is
careful.
It's
huge.
a
Like
quick
this
flat, I
is
can
this
help
is
you.
all.
Trapped. Simon.
I won't say they're all stomps like this one, but
I'm being run on!
it's
I can't
common to
come
see
back.
stomps like this one. Yes.
D1.
But that's why you do
D1,
things
D1,
like
D1.
Blizzard's Homecoming, where you do Swiss seeding, where
D1
our first
Yeah.
round was a bit of a, our first 2 rounds were a stomp,
Oh, you
but then
killed
we
him.
start getting other
I didn't
2-0
kill him,
opponents,
yeah.
and then
Alright,
other
watch this
4-0
tag, watch
opponents,
this tag.
and then
Somebody's
other
one, they
6-0
beat them, so
opponents,
I
that
thought
sort of
I'm
thing,
watching.
and they get
I'm
closer
watching.
real fast.
Wait, wait,
Because
six
that's
seconds.
what you have
Yeah,
to
but
do
watch
when
this
you have
tag.
300
Look, I'm
teams
on
in
the high
a
ground.
tournament, which
Okay,
is
wait,
fun.
ready?
But some of the like
missed
regional
again.
play, like this,
Yes.
NACE broke the
Good try.
teams up by regional, so this is the
I'll try it
Northeast
again and then I'll
region,
walk high.
and there was really one other
Oh, no,
good
you're on
team in
card,
our
PD.
region, the Ontario
I'm
Tech,
bad.
which that was the game that was supposed
They're
to be
gonna
last
walk
week,
it.
Oh, yeah.
and that was a good one.
Rotation,
It
Simon.
was
Yeah,
a
dude,
went to
just
5
counters
rounds,
in. They're gonna run on me.
and they finished last season
Creep
top
one on
32
fire.
when we finished last season top 16. And that's about what we look
Creep
for.
one.
We're looking for
Junkrat,
top
I'll-
16,
I'll
top
body block
32
you.
teams.
Go fight him,
Let's buy that guy.
In homecoming this
I'm
match,
in.
this
Yeah.
weekend though, we get a matchup against Northwood, who is probably the second best
I
team.
like
We've got them and Lords. Lords is very similar to us in terms of their ability. Northwood is a top 2 team. So that might be a stomp in a different direction.
There's 2 behind us.
I got points so you can do it.
But Lords should be a very good match.
Staying on this point.
Forgot how to do it.
The payload is approaching its
They
destination.
might have a touch.
Northeastern is in the Northeast
Nice.
region. Wow, never would have guessed. Right? Right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there and talk to my team for a bit, but I'll see you guys later.